You hate to see it. Skip and Shannon breaking up on live TV every single day. When your partner can't get through his monologue, it's all bad. Reminds me of a Wileyism that in any relationship that ends, you spend half the time breaking up. And what we're witnessing right now on live TV is them breaking up. You can tell they don't even speak outside the building, outside the show. Want to know how I know?
If there's anyone with insights, it is this man, Marcellus Wiley.
We all saw it. Felt like an ambush to Skip. Well, we weren't supposed to talk about that. I didn't see that in the notes. We didn't discuss this. You don't know what the boss said. Man, stop playing with me. Yeah, this is not about a tweet. This is not about Brady being better than Shannon. It ain't about none of that. None of them arguments. You know what this is? This is primal. Yep. This is two alphas fighting for territory. This is about power. Because that dynamic of power on that show has shifted, whether it's real or imagined. And right now, we're all seeing that battle for it. Let's see who comes out undisputed.
Shots fired at the end, however. Many of us know Marcellus Wiley from his days playing professional football and then also being on Sports Nation with Michelle Beadle, moving on to Fox Sports 1, hosting shows with Jason Whitlock and Emmanuel Acho. But one thing that stands out to me and many others is Wiley's rant was liked by none other than Skip Bayless co-host Shannon Sharpe-Drums. More on Wiley in a moment, but something that stuck out to me was everything that transpired in the last week, which I am going to recap. But also, here was the tweet as you see it on your screen from Skip Bayless. You know, many people have tried to say, oh, that's not what he meant. I thought Matt Barnes broke this down perfectly in a piece we covered this past week.
First of all, Skip is a professional in this realm. Was very highly respected, and it's put in years of work. So, you know, when people say, you know, read the whole tweet, he said the game was irrelevant. He knew he had to put that at the end of the bullshit he was saying, hoping that we didn't see through the bullshit. Because how he truly felt was his original first sentence, that how can they even cancel this? There's too much of them. That's how he really felt. But he's very intelligent, and he knew that if he put, you know, somehow this game seems irrelevant now, that some people wouldn't see through his bullshit and arrogance and blatant disrespect for DeMar.
So after the tweet, Shannon Sharpe no-shows, right? And then people were like, oh, well, what happened? Is he still ticked at Skip? Front Office Sports reported a source said it's highly unusual for Sharpe to skip the program the morning after Monday Night Football when viewership is at its peak. Shannon not showing up today and letting Skip twist in the wind was a good move, tweeted the Big Lead's Kyle Koster. So Bayless flying solo. Doesn't even issue an apology if we're being really honest about what we took in. Then he even said this. My boss here at Fox called and said, hey, people are really reacting strongly to your tweet. Maybe you should clarify, which I immediately did, Bayless said on the Tuesday show. Then a former Fox Sports executive, Scott Ackerson, who had been with the company since '94, shredded Bayless in a now deleted tweet, calling him an embarrassment and a worthless POS. So that was shocking to see. Someone that had been there since the 90s saying this. And when Shannon returned, we all know what happened with the monologue.
Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up this.
I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where DeMar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
And of course, this followed the blow-up they had when Skip took unnecessary shots at Shannon to come to the defense, as he always does, to Tom Brady. And quite frankly, to diss your co-host's career in order to push your agenda of bowing to TB12 was low. Which brings us to their strained relationship, with reports indicating it has deteriorated to an all-time low. That's via Front Office Sports. One more. They report Bayless has few, if any, allies from this past week. A scared Bayless seemed worried about job security this week, sources said. A newly humble Skip even praised LeBron, wrote FSO's Michael McCarthy. He's been the kingmaker at FS1, but not anymore, warned one source. I don't see Fox kissing Skip's ring after this. Okay, there is a few ways this could go. Kiss the ring, don't kiss the ring, doesn't matter. A few ways this can go. Number one, he leaves. That would open the door for someone who has defended him, in contrast to his co-host who's not defending him. And that man's name is Stephen A. Smith. There could be a reunion from the original First Take days, where in likely Stephen A.'s perfect world, he stays at ESPN. He's signed to a big contract already, but he stays there even longer to then have what they view as humongous ratings for Stephen A. and Skip to be reunited once more on First Take. The second hypothetical, let's say Shannon pulls like a, I'm not saying he's him, but like a KD, and he's like, you got to get rid of him. It's me or him. Let's say they stick with Skip Bayless and Shannon leaves. That show will deteriorate. Mind you, it will deteriorate. Because as big as Skip Bayless has been for years and years and years in this industry, Shannon Sharpe is a humongous name now. And even prior to this, he was already big. He has become massive. He has become a star in his own right. I do predict that wherever he goes, he will take a chunk of the viewership with him, which would be Fox Sports 1's loss. The third is they're playing it up, which I have seen many people comment on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. I don't buy it. And the reason I don't buy it is because it got personal. I know this because Shannon Sharpe said it was personal. He skipped the show. They have this dust up. It feels authentic to me. Marcellus Wiley, meanwhile, is currently a host on Dan Patrick's network, hosting a podcast called More to It.